According to the cloud. All right, so welcome everybody. It's the weekly show about print on demand. I'm here with Shawn Mayo, represented by the lovely Valerie. Valerie works with Shawn Mayo and his team to make sure everything's running smoothly. And tonight we're using the Zoom platform for the live webinar. You'll be able to ask questions in the chat. There's also a Q&A, and if you ask questions in the Q&A, we can make sure they're answered so it's easy to keep track of. Sometimes the chat starts to go fast when people start to really interact and chat with each other. Valerie, do you want to give a brief intro to yourself and just a quick message from the Shawn Mayo team? I know Shawn's on the road right now, right?
Yeah, he's on the road. Am I lagging?
Yes.
Okay, so I sound like a robot.
It's okay. It's a wonderful robot.
Welcome, everybody. If you can hear me, great. If you cannot, I am so sorry. I love that glass, Jacob. That is an awesome glass. Yeah, Shawn is on the road coming back from the Scan Power Conference. I'm sure that we're going to share all. Yeah, Jacob as well. You still got your tag on?
Yeah, I love it. Shawn and I were both at Scan Power yesterday and the day before that. So it's a great conference and we had a good time. We went out to New York City afterwards and had some special times together as well. So that was kind of fun.
Good. Well, yeah, I know that this webinar, just print on demand in general is making within and becoming so huge. It's such a great opportunity for people to take advantage and make money and not even have to do that much work. I mean, you have to work, but you don't have to do that much to make a great product. So, Jacob, you are the man. Fernando, thank you so much for joining us as well. I know that we're super excited to learn about this site, about Fanprint. So, everybody who's joining us, thank you for joining us. Ask your questions. I can't even emphasize that enough. If you guys have questions, ask them. If you post them in the Q&A, they're private. That's how only we see the Q&A. So you don't have to worry about being embarrassed or anything like that. And that Q&A button is at the bottom of your screen. So you just, or I think for some people it's actually at the top. However you have it set, it is on your screen. Submit your questions, and otherwise you can only post them in the chat, but to make sure that they get answered, post them in the Q&A, ask away, get them answered, and then you'll be just one step closer to making a bunch of money with print on demand.
Perfect. Okay, so thank you, Valerie, for the quick intro. I know that Shawn's on the road. He's driving towards Florida. That's where he's at. So we're going to get started. It is recording, guys, so if you have questions, you can ask them in the chat. You can also ask them in the Q&A. And without further ado, let's get started. So tonight's webinar is all about Fanprint. And Fanprint is one of the newer print-on-demand platforms. Last time we talked about GearBubble. The week before that, we talked about Sunfrog. The week before that, we talked about Redbubble. So this is our fourth webinar in a row, guys. It's going to be Wednesday nights, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So you can set your calendar and know when it's happening. And we have a special guest here today for the show, Fernando. And live from the car, I just saw a double Shawn Mayo. So we've got Shawn Mayo's representative and Shawn Mayo himself. So Shawn, welcome to your webinar. Live from the car. I don't know, maybe he's going to be asking questions or listening in, who knows. So just before we get started, print on demand is a big world of print on demand, guys. There's merch by Amazon. Most people have heard of merch by Amazon. It's probably one of the sort of hottest print on demand platforms. It's just under 2 years old, so it's around 18 months old, and a lot of people are familiar with it. But a lot of people have questions around the other print on demand platforms, and that's what this webinar is about, guys. We do it every week. It's on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. And so this week we're going to be focusing on Fanprint. And Fanprint is really interesting in some of the trademark partnerships that they have set up, guys, through Fanprint. And I'm gonna allow Fernando to go in depth on this, but just as a quick overview, Fanprint has trademark rights to 20th Century Fox, which is a huge brand. The Dallas Cowboys, NASCAR, okay, IndyCar, players associations from the NHL, from the Major League Soccer, Major League Baseball Players Association, guys, America's Navy, Star Wars, right? We all know that Star Wars is owned by Disney. You have access to Star Wars designs through Fanprint. It's pretty amazing. Some of the people behind this platform, some of the investors are huge names in the industry. There's Gil Marmol from Foot Locker. He's on the board of directors of Foot Locker. I mean, who better to have on a design platform than people from Foot Locker? Also, David Heath is one of the investors in the platform. He's formerly with Under Armour as the senior vice president of sales. So these are major industry players, guys. This platform is not joking around. I think it's early. I think it's just getting started. I've been talking with Fernando a few times. We actually met live with my wife and Fernando and myself in Spring, Texas. We had a good chat there in person, and that was just over a month ago, right, Fernando?
Yeah, it was your second stop on your tour.
Yeah, so it was like right at the very beginning, guys. I think the tour itself is up to like 38, 39 cities across, I think, almost 17 different states and 3 provinces. Yesterday, I was in New York City. I went through Connecticut, went through Rhode Island, went through Pennsylvania, went through New York State. So five states in the last 2 days. But definitely, Fernando is one of the people I wanted to meet with right at the very beginning and make sure that we got a chance to really sort of chat in person. And my wife, Tara, and I both went and had the opportunity to meet with Fernando and chat with him in live in person. He's the real deal, guys. So without further ado, Fernando, tell us about Fanprint. You're a user on the platform. You've had success with sales on the platform. You have connections with the management and the team there. So I'll let you, as our special guest for this episode, tell us more about Fanprint and your experience there with them.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the invitation. I mean, I know it was short notice, but I will try to give as much content as I can during this hour and a half that we will talk about Fanprint. Now, as you know, as you mentioned, Fanprint is pretty new. I mean, it probably launched at some point late last year. I actually applied to Fanprint back in November, and they were taking only a limited number. Actually, you had to provide your sales records, right, for Teespring and other platforms, and I didn't qualify. I mean, why I didn't qualify? Because there were people that were selling $25,000 a month in Teespring or more, and of course, I was just doing merch at the time. A little Redbubble, little TeePublic. So it was like a minor player for them, so they didn't invite me. And in March, they decided to open the batch again, and I got approved, and I was amazed. I mean, this platform is probably the easiest to use of all the platforms there are. I mean, these guys actually build it to a way that is so simple to upload a design, and they give you so much resources to create your designs that it makes it easy. I mean, they even have a hack, like if, for example, you are creating a one shirt, like, you know, like everybody likes to create these, you know, I am a badass because I'm an engineer. I'm a badass because I'm an accountant. And you can create 100 of those, right?
Yeah.
Save that setting, and it will populate all your information until anything you change is the title and your image, and then if the whole listing is the same, you just upload. I mean, imagine if you could have that tool in Merch or another platform. It will be so easy to create. And the reason why is because they have licenses with the player associations. So, you know, and a lot of these designers create, you know, I'm a big fan of, you know, Josie, I'm a big fan of Anderson, I'm a big fan of these, I'm a big fan. They create 100, 200, you know, designs around that same design, and they want to make it easy for them to upload them. So it makes them very, 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 very accessible.
We're talking about mass design upload, guys, right?
Yes. I mean, you know, one of the big things about merch is that people love to break the law when it comes to a copyright, right? They like to break into, let's create NFL, NHL, ML, Major League Baseball, soccer, Star Wars. People love to say, I'm your father everywhere, right? And violation. Mm-hmm. Fanprint actually allows you to design around Star Wars. Other PODs allows you to promote Star Wars, to market Star Wars. Here, they give you all the guidelines by Disney, which honestly, to design a Star Wars shirt is literally pain. They have so many regulations of what you can and what you cannot do. But if you come up with a good design on the Star Wars, you have a winner, right? I mean, the market is for Star Wars is there.
Let's touch on that for a second, because last week when we were talking about Gear Bubble, we saw that they allow uploads directly into Amazon. And the week before when we were talking about Sunfrog, they now have licensed designs. So you can sell existing Star Wars with Sunfrog, which allows you to sell something with Star Wars branding on it.
Yeah.
The difference here with Fanprint, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Fernando, you're saying they allow you not only to just list existing shirts, but you can upload designs with new designs that you've created, and once they're approved, then they are licensed to sell. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. I mean, you can create. I mean, you mentioned use a few of all the licenses they got, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, I have licenses, shirts on licenses on Star Wars. I have Barbie. I have Fight Club.
Yeah.
I have Family Guy. I mean, of course, baseball, NHL, and stuff, other teams, players associations. But, then they have way more licenses like American Dad. They have Everything is Sunny in Philadelphia or something like that. I forgot the name. They have like 10 more licenses that they're not even promoting because, honestly, the sales on Fanprint are on the sports. I mean, there is still not a real marketer promoting, the Barbie shirts. Actually, you go to the fanprint.com, you will not see Barbie anywhere. Unless you type Barbie, you will see that there are like dozens of designs for Barbie. Nobody knows that Fanprint sells Barbie, but they're there. And the same thing for Fight Club. I mean, they have.
You got sort of the public ones that everybody sees, and they have the behind the scenes ones.
Yeah. Because, the beauty of Fanprint is that when you create a design, you have two choices. You can go private or you can go public, right? Now, what I tell people in my group, I have a group that, in Facebook, is that if you are not good on marketing, because Fanprint is not really for organic sales. Right, you gotta have an audience, a Facebook page, or you gotta have an Instagram followers, or you gotta do Facebook ads. I mean, but if you do, there is a lot of money to be made on Fanprint. I mean, you was talking to the vice president of commercial development, which I talk often with him. He tells me that there's people that are selling $25,000 a day at 16% commission. They're diamond tier people. I mean, just imagine the amount of shirts at $30 per shirt, or $24 a shirt, because they're in different tiers. At $24.99, that's 1,000 shirts a day that somebody is selling. Imagine the amount of Facebook ads this person is running. I mean, but 25 at 60%, that's $15,000, profit.
And that covers. So 20th Century Fox owns Fox Studios, correct? So any of the content that Fox puts out is available on Fanprint, correct?
No, not everything. Everything is every license they add, it's independently, negotiated.
Okay.
So,
some of the brands of Fox will be available, and some would not be available.
Some would not be available. I mean, but you can find them. Now, you see, like going back to Star Wars. Star Wars has this huge list from Disney that they tell you, like you have to create, you can only use shirts on this color and this color and this color. Like for example, a Star Wars font can only be used for the logo, for a Star Wars.
Okay.
You cannot write with the Star Wars font, I'm your father. I mean, you can do something that looks similar, but their font for the Star Wars, like the S that is attached to the T and all that stuff, that is iconic, they don't want it in nothing but their logo.
Right.
They don't want you to mess with the logo, the way the logo is. They don't want you to do any part, and that's not Pareto. What do you call that when you make fun of other branches? Like dress as just as it's a scandal. They don't want you to, do
no
that.
Satire or anything like that.
Satire. Exactly. Right. That's the word I was looking for. I mean, they have a lot of different guidelines, right? Like you cannot cross over different movies. Like you cannot put Kondoku with Han Solo. That is
no mashups.
Yeah, it's nothing. You cannot create. If you're gonna do a Return of the Jedi shirt, it's a Return of the Jedi shirt.
Okay.
You're gonna do something. I mean, so you have. I mean, to read the document, it's like 20, 30 pages.
Yeah.
And they give you,
which isn't bad given the amount of scope they give you, right? Like 20, 30 pages is got to be fairly condensed, right?
I mean, imagine if Emerge will only give you like 2 pages, like similar to that. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't get mad, right?
Yeah.
Now, every shirt you create, you present it to the panel. If they approve it, it goes to the Star Wars, and then Star Wars gives the second approval.
Okay. So they have 2-stage approval.
2-stage approval.
First is by the board or the people within Fanprint, and if they okay it, then they send it to the brand trademark holder, and then they have to approve it as well.
Yes.
So it gets sent to Disney, it gets sent to Fox Studios, it gets sent to the NFL Player Association, right?
Exactly.
Think about that, guys. You have the ability to design content that becomes part of the trademark content for these huge brands. But that is something that sets Fanprint apart from any platform. I've never seen anything like it on any of the platforms. It's totally unique, and it's almost unbelievable. Like the access that you get to be able to design something and have it go through that 2-stage approval and put it up on a platform as your own shirt. And not only that, but once you've got your design up there, I believe other people can sell it through the platform as well, right? They can promote it.
Yeah, you can promote it. You can promote it anywhere. You can use you cannot sell it in Amazon, for example. It has to be checked out directly on Fanprint.
Yes.
But you can promote it in anywhere else, and everything is about having your affiliate link, right?
And that's what I'm saying, though. Other people can affiliate the design you make. So let's say you make a design for Star Wars. It's a pure Star Wars design. It gets approved by Fanprint, and then it goes to Star Wars people, and they approve it. Once it's approved, it's now available for use. And so if I made a design or Fernando made a design, and then we want to share that with other people on Fanprint, my understanding is they can attach their affiliate link to it, and they can promote the shirt you made, right? Just like Frog's affiliate link or some of the other platforms have that.
In that way, Fanprint works very similar as Sunfrog does, right? You have two commission tiers, as designer tier and and marketer tier. Of course, marketers going to get the big chunk of the money because they are spending money on ads and they are running to risk, right? Now, I tell this to people in my group, right? Fanprint only pays 2.5% of the sale, which is it's very bad compared to Soundfrog, that pays 5%.
Yeah.
I've been talking to them, and they're gonna bump it in their next update to probably 5 as well, because they know that a lot of designers are not really uploading because of that. They think it's cheap.
Yeah, a designer often isn't a marketer, and a marketer often isn't a designer. So by paying both parties fairly, you get more traction generally, right?
The thing is, you think about it, as a designer will probably come up with a design that is probably worth $30, right? And they put it there, and probably $10 or $5, whatever, and as many designs they sell, they don't sell, right? Mm-hmm. The marketers don't know if it's gonna sell something, so they're gonna run a Facebook ad, for $5 for the first day, then $5, and when you realize they have spent $100 to market something.
Yeah.
So and when you start looking at $25,000 in sales, they probably already spent $4,000 or $5,000 in Facebook ads. They run a huge bill and a huge risk, And now let's imagine that they run all these risks. They sell 25,000 shirts. They run $5,000 in ad, and then boom, there comes a trademark complaint on the designer, and this design can no longer sell. and they cannot fulfill them. So who's gonna pay this marketer all this $5,000 to run? So they gotta pay the marketers a bigger amount because they're actually doing the risk. But what I tell
it costs money to market.
Yeah, it costs a lot of money and a lot of influence.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta know people to help you. Put your product in front of others. I mean, it's where creating strategies with other marketers pays out. I told a good friend of mine, I'm gonna create an NHL page, and you're gonna create a Major League Baseball page, and you will post on my. I made him an admin on my page, and he made me an admin on his page. So I post my stuff in his, and he posts his stuff in his. So we don't have to manage two pages each. I mean, you gotta start thinking, outside the box.
Yeah, you can collaborate with other sellers to drive sales, both on your own designs, but also on the ones you affiliate for. So, for example, if Fernando sees an opportunity in NHL, he can set up an NHL page, but maybe he wants to partner with somebody on YouTube who talks about hockey all the time, right? If they're talking about hockey all the time, they know the players, they have the contacts, they have fans that are into hockey. He'll partner with that person, and the two of them will run that page together, right? So you can leverage the power of these brands and get paid a giant commission. Do you want to tell them about the marketing commission percentages? It's tiered, right?
It's tiered. It starts, I believe it's 40% the first tier.
Okay, same as Red Frog.
And then it's 50% and 60% is the diamond tier. Once you have sold $25,000, you become a diamond tier.
Okay.
Right now they're running a promotion where everybody's diamond. So you sell one shirt is 60%, and I have sold a couple in the last couple of days, and they're paying me 60%.
And they do have minimum prices for the shirt costs, right? A little bit different than some of the other pods. Yes.
For example, if you go for a female premium shirt, you cannot sell it for less than $29.99. That's mandatory. You cannot go less. You can offer a coupon that they approve you for, I believe is 10% maximum, which we only use to cross-sell or to upsell. Yeah. I have had good luck. With upsells, I offered a coupon at checkout, and or when they want to close the window, they want to get out of the page, and they say, wait. It's a pop-up says, before you go, here's a 10% discount. You buy a shirt right now, and it helps. So they have all these tools, to stop people from leaving or help them add more to your cart. Like on shirts, they have also stickers that it's like 3 stickers for $10. Some like when you're looking at players and stuff like that, they don't really buy them. Buying Star Wars or Barbies, they actually look more they are more appetizing to buy. So it depends on the franchise you're working, and the upsell. They're coming with mugs pretty soon. Now they have been thinking about, mugs sell a lot on other platforms, but in this one they're not really sure because this is more designs that you would actually wear to a game, right? Like in support of your favorite athlete.
Yeah, I know. Let's pause for a second there. So the mugs is huge in other platforms. Fernando mentioned that, but last week when we were talking about Gear Bubble, if you go through the top selling designs across the whole platform, whether it's T-shirts or leggings, hats, shirts, hoodies, mugs were right at the top, up there with jewelry as well. They have jewelry as well. And so one of the interesting things about mugs is you'll get mug collectors. You'll get people that are really into mugs. They make good gifts, right? And some of it's generational, right? Some generations really are into mugs. They'd rather have a mug than a T-shirt. Other places would rather have a T-shirt than a mug. So when you look at the top selling designs on Gear Bubble, which we just talked about last week, you'll see that there's a lot of designs there that are on mugs, right? They have regular mugs, and then they have the thermal mugs, right? Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I like about Fanprint is the ability to have a bunch of unique things. They've taken, in my opinion, when I look at the different things that they offer on their platform, they've taken different parts of different platforms, and they've kind of built, in their opinion, what they feel is a fantastic platform. You mentioned at the beginning, it's easy to upload. It's easy to duplicate. It's easy to get approved for different things. So once you're in the platform, and once you've got access to that, you've got things like Facebook integration. You mentioned cross-selling and upselling, right? So one is taking something and adding to it. The other one is cross-selling one thing with another. And then you can do the custom promotions, so you can have the coupons and discounting, right? But one of the cool things, and if you go to their website, they do have a lot of this information. One of the things that sets Fanprint apart that you have, it's starting to come on some other pods, is the buyer data, guys. So you're selling that product, you've marketed that product, you capture buyer data, and you can use that to retarget. Just like Facebook integration, you have integration with Facebook ads, you have the ability to use the Facebook Pixel. They go a step further, they give you the name and email address of the buyers, correct?
They do.
And that's something that's not available on all platforms. If you go to Merch by Amazon, you don't even know who bought your item. You don't know where it's getting sent. There's all kinds of information that Amazon keeps, and that's good because they can use that for themselves. But with platforms like other print-on-demand sites like Fanprint, not only are you allowed to do general information like a Facebook Pixel where you can retarget to a similar audience, right? But they actually give you the buyer's information because you're making that sale. And so they provide you with the information on who's buying the things you've sold, right? So I didn't mean to interrupt, but I think some of those features really set this platform apart from other platforms, and it is relatively new. So I think over time, all these different platforms have I call them superpowers, right? Things that they do that others don't. And that's one of the things that sets Fanprint apart, is allowing you to have the buyer data. Sorry, and I didn't interrupt, so.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, another thing that Fanprint does very well is that, because they don't allow just anybody to get in. I mean, you got to apply it. They're going to check that you actually do something, right?
Yeah.
That also, when you get in, you get assistance. I mean, you actually have a person that is helping you. You can email them back and forth. And
like an account manager?
Eh?
Like an account manager, somebody you can talk to and ask questions?
And they say that, I mean, you have an account manager. You share an account manager at your tier, and it's limited. As you tier up, it's more dedicated. And when you are diamond, you have 100% account manager dedicated to you. He's pretty much your employee. And he's checking all the information, checking your data, any complaint you have, they work for you. So it's something that in other platforms you don't have. I mean, they value their top sellers.
Yeah.
And they want to know, and they take every piece of information you send them, they take it seriously. And
as a growing platform, that's something that stands out, right? Because there's other new platforms that doesn't give you that level of interaction, right? I mean, again, I know most of the viewers that are on here are part of Merch by Amazon, and they've had the experience that they've had. And so when you've got a question for Merch by Amazon, you send an email, you're probably going to get a response, but you don't really get that interaction. With Fanprint, you've got your account manager, and then you send them a question, they'll send you back, and you get to know that person, right?
Yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, the only reason I have probably a better contact than most people are is because, I have 150 people referred to me because of my other groups, right?
Yes.
So they assign, the VP is why he's actually interacting because, I have a huge umbrella and he wants me to help, and also have a group, and then also have the Amazon custom group and all the other stuff that I do. So, yeah. I mean, in a way...
So let's touch on this one thing. Unlike other platforms, not only do they have the ability to earn the commission on your sales, the artist side, not only do you have the ability to get the marketing side, this is something that Fernando's just mentioned, and we just touched the surface on this. They allow you to bring other people into the platform, and then you get overrides, right? TeePublic does this as well. So if you have a TeePublic account, you can share somebody a link, and you get a $1 override on every sale they make, up to $250. Yeah. And that's on as many people as you want. So you share that link with 100 people, and they all make 250 sales. You're going to make a serious amount of money. So Fernando, can you talk to us about how that works? I mean, that's something that's unique on this platform, the ability to bring other people in and to earn overrides on what they sell, right?
Yeah, I mean, the payoff is not great. It's 25 cents per sale, right?
That adds up fast.
But it's for life, right? Yeah. So I mean, there's not like TeePublic that is capped to, I think, believe it's 250 or something like that. I don't remember the number.
Yeah.
But here it's for life. Now, as I explained in my group the other day, penny. Okay, let's imagine this thing, right? You bring on board $1,000 a day seller, right? They are there. I mean, in the world Teespring, It's a lot of those people, right? You bring one of those here, and you sell 1,000 of those a day. That's $250 a day in commission from that guy. Now make it
US dollars.
Yeah.
US dollars.
Now multiply it by 30 days. I mean, that is $7,500 right there, a month used from one guy selling shirts, and you're just getting a quarter out of that person. I mean, it adds up very, very fast. And it's the same thing I tell, all the designers. Do not underestimate the 2.5%. Let's say you make $1, per shirt. I mean, $2 per shirt that you design, and somebody's marketing it. Yeah, when you see your commission is $2. Now let's assume your shirt goes viral and sells 1,000 shirts. You just made $2,000 in commission by just creating a design, that you were never going to market because either you didn't have the income to do it, you didn't have the cash flow, or you didn't have the knowledge to run Facebook ads. And
just like the other platforms as well, if you're not a designer yourself, you can outsource this, guys. Right? You can hire somebody like Charlie Pangus, a fantastic designer out of California, or you could hire something like Design Pickle, a whole service that makes the design for you. When they design those things, you own the rights to those designs, and then you can apply that design to Fanprint, and they will evaluate it and let you know if it's for use or not. Again, with that two-tier system we talked about. So if you yourself personally are not necessarily the best designer, you can have the designs made for you and then use those to submit to the platform. And like Fernando was saying, if you're getting a percentage, 2.5% of $10, not too much. 2.5% of $100,000 really adds up, right? So you have the opportunity to use some of these licensed brands once they've been through that two-stage approval process, and they can really make a big difference, right? There's a big difference between saying, I've got some orange juice in a bottle here. You want some orange juice? It's orange colored. It comes from oranges. And then you put the brand on it, right? Now it's Tropicana orange juice. Now you can charge a premium price. Now you have buyers. You've got marketing. You've got years of marketing, right? When you put Star Wars on a shirt, guys, Star Wars has been out for decades. And they've been successful for decades. And they've got movies coming up in the future, not just the current ones, right? So, think about the power of being able to use these trademarks. It's one thing to use the existing ones. Fanprint takes it to a completely different level, allowing you to submit designs and get them through that two-tier process. Like, it's really, I don't think you could, you don't want to underestimate the power of that, right?
You see, when you think Merge, Redbubble, or any other these platforms,
yeah,
and you sell 10 over design, oh my God, I got a winner. You sell 100, oh wow, I got a great winner. You get 10 sales in Fanprint from your design, that's a loser. You get 100 sales from your design, it's like, oh, this one has potential. A winner is sells 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 shirts. Doesn't sell 10 shirts. I mean, it's a whole different world, because now you're endorsing a player with your design, or backwards, the player is endorsing your design because you have their name, you have the NHL logo, you got everything in there. I mean, it's got to be a perfect design, because, and if somebody's going to put money on it, it's got to be a good design.
Yeah.
So
I was just looking at this, the NHL Players Association, guys. So what that means is you can put the player's name and their likeness on products, right? So I don't know how many fans there would be that are watching live or watching the replay of NHL, but these are multi-million-dollar franchises distributed all across North America, right? All throughout the U.S. and Canada, right? So if you want to put Brent Burns on something, or Connor McGavin, or Duncan Keith, or any of these NHL, these are top star players. Jerome McGinley, right? If you want to put Jerome McGinley's face and name on a shirt that you've designed and submit it for that two-tier process, I mean, you have access to these superstars, right? And you can make custom designs with their name and likeness on it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it has with the player associations. Now, they don't have every player. Every player, they are negotiating with every player. So it's limited to X amount of players.
And they list them on their site, so you can see which ones you have access to, and you know which ones you don't, right?
Exactly. Yeah, everything is documented. I mean, you can find out the list. I mean, they have a database of images you can use and stuff like that. They even give you, you know, PNGs that you or vectors that you can use for your designs, and then they have a whole system or stuff you can use for some other design, you know, for some other license like Fight Club. They tell you just find whatever from the movie. As long as it was in the movie, you can use it.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, so we create a couple of designs around it. Now, in my personal situation, I began designing shirts, right, for Fanprint, but I also had to design other shirts for other platforms. Then I decided that I was no longer gonna design shirts for Fanprint. It was just no purpose for me to keep designing shirts. I mean, the commissions that I was gonna get, it was just not worth it for me. For me, it was worth it to market.
Yeah.
Now I look for the winner, and I go. You know, one of the beautiful thing about Fanprint is you can go to every one of the designs, and you have a pixel hack. You can actually know what shirt has a pixel running. You know, which means that somebody is promoting that shirt as well. You know, because it's having pixel fires. So when you go there, you know, like, oh, this is somebody's promoting this one, so I grab it and I promote it as well. I create competition, but who cares? I mean, you know, so I know what shirts, and when you are driving traffic to that shirt as well, Fanprint also fires a pixel to that shirt. So now it's also Fanprint is always firing pixels where you're firing pixels.
Yeah.
So you have your own design and you run a small campaign on it. Fanprint is going to run a campaign on it as well. You know, I mean, they will include it on their and if once you follow Fanprint, believe me, I see they are investing heavily on Facebook ads.
And they've got deep pockets, guys. It's not 4 or 5 guys in their basement. It's not a few people running out of their house or something. They've got major players. We're talking about former SVP of sales for Under Armour. We're talking about people from.
So I mean, you can see every single name or every single managerial person in that company in their website. I mean, they're very transparent.
They have the CEO of Planet Fitness. The CEO of Planet Fitness. I mean, it's a fitness company. It's across. You've heard of Planet Fitness, right? It's all across America. I mean, they're even in Canada, I think, sometimes, right? Like, these are huge companies, and they've got deep pockets, and they want to make a return on their investment. So they're going to do what they can to make it successful. And I think what I'm hearing from you, Fernando, is not only are they buyer-centric, where they have these great designs and things like that, but they're, more importantly, for the people listening to this, is they're seller-centric. Right? They support their sellers. They want you to succeed, right?
I mean, in Redbubble, it's great. Sells nicely, very organic place. I mean, I like it. Everything I put in merch, I put in Redbubble, and I just forget about it. But when you have a problem, you contact customer support. You have no idea how long it takes. They're huge. I mean, they don't really care. Fanprint, they know that if you want to sell, you're committed. I mean, it's a seller's platform, right? I mean, you are thinking that you're gonna just put a bunch of ugly designs, and they're gonna sell.
It's not gonna happen.
I mean, you can sell no licensed shirts on Fanprint.
Yeah,
finding them. When you go through their portal, there is nowhere to find non-licensed shirts. You gotta search them.
So they're there, and you can list them, but you can list the ones that are licensed. Because they're
expecting you to market them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're expecting for you to run campaigns on them. I mean, I started when I began, I started uploading all my shirts, and I'm like, I can't find this. Why do I waste my time wasting here? Same for other, I mean, try finding shirts, and everything is starting in Philadelphia. You are not gonna find them, in the main menu. Yeah. They're there, and they're being promoted, and they're being sold, but they only put on front their top sellers.
Right.
They're so seller-friendly that you ask them, can you give me statisticals for NHL or who is buying this product? And they will tell you. The other day they told me, look, for NHL, you gotta sell through Facebook ads only.
Yeah.
Target them through one picture, 1200 by 600, I believe it was, and make sure that it's seen well in mobile. And target 21 years old to 45 years old. Those are your target for NHL players.
So they're giving you the demographics of where, what platform, what format is making the most sales, because they see the sales data, right?
Yeah.
They're telling you the age range.
You ask for them, but they give them to you. I mean, they gave them to me.
Yeah.
I ran a campaign of 3 NHL shirts, very masculine.
Right.
I didn't sell absolutely none. Then I found 2 NHL shirts for the Nashville Predators, and they were very feminine. And I made an ad, and I've been selling them like crazy. And I follow what they told me.
Yeah.
Emails 21 to 45, you know, and make sure your ad looks good on Facebook and looks good on mobile. You know, and if you and they even tell you, you know, the bestseller is gonna be an Android, and the second bestseller is gonna be an iPhone. And you go through, you know, Power Editor on Facebook ads, you can break down who has seen your ad by even, you know, by phone brand and everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's crazy, and I corroborated it, and yes, I mean, Android tend to click more on purchases than iPhone. Even though iPhone is more popular, Android people purchase more through their phones.
For that brand, right? So another brand might be more leaning towards another thing. So what Fernando's saying is, if you ask the person you're dealing with, you've got an account manager, I imagine they have incentives and bonuses on their own side. They probably get paid more if they sell more through the people they deal with, right? But they're willing to give you some of that information if you ask for it, and you can use that to target for that particular trademark. So maybe NHL, they're gonna favor Android and particular age range on this platform. But then maybe you look at NFL, maybe it'll be a different platform. Maybe it'll be a different metric, right? So each of the trademarks and each of the brands are going to be different. Instead of just giving you the general things, if you're asking, right, if they've got that data available, they want to help you as a seller to do well. So let's take a moment here. Guys, there's a number of people watching right now. I think we've got somewhere between 15 and 25 people coming in and out. Do you guys have any questions about the platform or about myself or Fernando? We're just going to take a minute here. You can ask them in the Q&A. There's also the chat. And the chat, there's an everyone if you want people to see your question, or you can select just the panelists, and then Fernando and I and Shawn Mayo, who I think is driving right now, he would also see it. So do you guys have any questions, the people that are watching? I mean, there's you know, almost 20 people watching live right now, so feel free to shout out. I see Gal Sweeney had some comments earlier. If you guys have any questions, just type in the questions in the chat or the Q&A. All right, so we don't see any questions coming up. So Fernando, with that, you have the ability to do screen share. Do you want to take us under the cover here and see sort of how the platform looks, how it works, that type of thing?
Yeah, and I'm gonna use my referral. I have 2 accounts. One that I use for, you know, for me for sale, and one that I use for just to keep track of my referrals, and where I test. Sometimes I test a different. When I'm doing something new, like right now I'm just testing NHL. Sometimes I run it here.
And is that something we can all set up, multiple accounts, or is that unique to you?
It was just a favor.
Okay, all right. So normally you expect to have 1 account, but Fernando's got 2, and that's what we bring on the show, right? And there's some areas where I'm not the strongest seller, I'm not the strongest information person on certain platforms, right? And in those cases, we want to bring in people like Fernando that have special information, that have special access, that have multiple accounts, right? We want to make sure we're giving you guys top quality content. When Shawn and I sat down, we talked about sort of how to do the print-on-demand series. We want to make sure we're giving you guys actionable content that you can really use and really expand your influence in terms of selling on print-on-demand, right, across many platforms. So, okay, Fernando, you've got multiple accounts, very special.
Not very special, but I mean,
it's super special. I don't have multiple accounts on Fanprint.
Well, I mean, I have to use for the very, because, you know, as I said, I have 150 people, you know, in my referral, and I at the same time I'm helping other people test. You know, as I say, I have a group, and sometimes I say let's run, and I don't want my Pixel to get confused, you know, with my, you know, as you know about Facebook pixels, you know, they have they start learning about your you know, about you, about how it's working.
Yeah.
So if I'm testing something, I wanted to have my pixel, you know, I want to have a different pixel on this account so I can track what I'm testing. I'm pretty sure they're gonna probably allow people to do that, you know, eventually. And, you know, it was just a favor because it was more in help of my group that I'm just telling them, hey.
I think let's point this out as well. Fanprint has integration into your Facebook ads, correct? Not just the link for the pixel. They have Facebook ad integration, correct?
Yeah.
That's something that other platforms don't have. A lot of platforms allow you to drop a Facebook pixel on there. I haven't seen any other platforms that allow you to integrate with the Facebook ads.
You can create actually, my God, how do you call these things?
Campaigns?
You can upload, give me a second. Yeah, you can create a Facebook product feed.
Yeah.
And every day, you know, like you can tell your Facebook, I mean, you can run an ad 24/7 for your product feed. And every day when you upload new product, your product feed gets refreshed and it keeps promoting. And you set an automatic targeting. So you have, I mean, like right now, for example, that I don't have an audience for that specifically. It doesn't help me much. But you have now that you have created like 1,000 emails, you know, that people have bought from you, and you create an ad, a Facebook ad saying only target these people, and you create a product feed ad, it's targeting them constantly with all your new products.
Absolutely.
It goes, and as you add more people to your email list, it gets growing and growing and growing and growing and growing.
And you can set up multiple Facebook product feeds, right? So you could have one feed targeting one audience, another feed targeting another audience, and you can have them running as long as they're successful, they keep running. If they start to slow down, you also have the ability to pause, or you have the ability to stop a feed, right? So if you find that you're spending ad spend, and maybe it's seasonal, or maybe it's something like Halloween, or it's a Christmas thing, and it's kind of like time-based. So if you see that the sales are coming, you can put more money into it and ramp it up. If you see the sales are dropping off, you have the ability not only to reduce the ad spend, you can actually hit pause, right? And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you can also schedule them. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I have spoken to Facebook experts, and they say that you don't have an ad running constantly.
Yeah.
The pixel gets all messed up because they don't get real data.
Okay.
They get only
so it's important to keep it running. If you want to
even if it's like $2-3 a day, you just keep it running. But I mean, as I said, that the product feed is not. I mean, I ran it the other day just to see how it worked. It was pretty cool. I got a bunch of clicks, but I didn't get a single conversion out of them.
Yeah.
What Facebook does is, and Facebook is very smart. It tells you, hey, Fernando, you have, for example, I had 4 different Barbie designs that said, you know, Barbie, I love my shoes, and I name all 4 the same way, right?
Yeah.
And my description was the same. Everything was the same. Was very generic. And Facebook tells me, no, go change them. Go change them all. Different name, different description, different keywords, because you're gonna put them on automatic, and they want to know exactly who to target, and it just runs. But as I say, that is very good once you have a captive audience that you can automatically target.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you run it, you're just running it to who knows who. You're probably just wasting money. I mean, you might get a sale out of it, but you never know, right?
Yeah. So, it's much better to know who you're targeting to, right?
But I mean, they give you a bunch of stuff. I mean, let me share my screen and we can go through this thing.
Okay. And again, guys, you don't need special permission to ask questions. So if you're watching live, go into the chat. Feel free to ask questions, or in the Q&A, we'll make sure that we get them all answered. If there's any issues with the chat or the Q&A, you can also probably private message us on Facebook just to make sure that there's no issues with it. So Fernando, when you're all set, just click on in the Zoom window, there'll be a green bar with a box pointing up, share screen, and then you can pick whatever screen you want, either a single window or your whole desktop, whatever you prefer.
I have a question while Fernando is doing that.
Okay, we've got Tara here. Tara's got a live question.
I have a live question.
Here it is.
Typey. Hi. Hi, Fernando.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so it's by invitation.
Yes.
Typically, what's the wait time to get in? What's the process? Do we know?
Yeah, so Fernando, their question is around how long is the wait time when you apply for the...
I mean, it has usually been next business day. I mean, I'm surprised that you tell me that you haven't been you know, or whatever.
Yeah, so it's usually 1 to 2 days.
It's usually 1 to 2 days. I mean, you do Friday probably by Monday or Tuesday. But
that's amazing.
As opposed to 6 months or
an undefined amount of time.
An undefined amount of time. Before we started the series, so we're in week 4 right now. Before we started this 4-week series up to this point, Tara applied for Merch by Amazon, and she still hasn't heard back from them. She checks once a week. Did you check recently?
Oh, I check almost daily.
She checks almost daily, right?
I checked today.
And so, and it's a very common concern. There's a lot of people waiting to get into Merch by Amazon, and it's a great platform, right?
It is a great platform.
People make a living off of it,
yes.
And it's fantastic. But sometimes the waiting period, it's not 1 to 2 days.
Disheartening.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
thank you.
I like merch, but it's not what I make my money. I mean, I told you about that.
Yeah.
I am horrible with with keywording, and that is my Achilles heel, right? I mean, I prefer to have more control on my sales, and and Fanprint gives me that. Now, can you see my screen already, or?
Yeah, we can see your screen, and we also have a question from Catherine Kane. So Catherine is asking, does Fanprint have specific instructions on the size of design to upload, and is there a template for them like merch?
That I'm aware of, no. Honestly, I do the 4500 by 5400 as well as merch, and it works perfectly fine.
Okay, so you're using the same dimensions that you would use for merch.
Yeah.
If you go into the Q&A section in Fanprint, I believe they'll typically have the dimensions and the file types and things. But what you're saying is you're using the same dimensions you would use for Merch by Amazon. So .png, 4500 by 5400, 300 DPI, right?
It's been working. Let me see.
Okay.
New campaign. Let's find out. Okay, design guidelines.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So you can do EPS or a PNG. The EPS is 1,000 pixels. PNG is 5,000 pixels. And then they have templates, design guidelines, licensed logos, and Fanprint logos.
There you go.
So, I mean, like Fernando mentioned this, they're seller centric. They want to know what they can do to provide you with what you need to make more sales, right?
See, this is a Dropbox where you go.
Yeah.
And these are huge files. I mean,
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at NASCAR. I'd be very interested to see what the NASCAR racing is, because NASCAR is a gigantic brand, especially in southern U.S. I've been traveling all throughout the different states, and I can tell you for sure, I'm not a NASCAR fan, but NASCAR is huge in certain states, especially in the South.
I mean, in this one, they're files, so you gotta download them, and I mean, look, Dale Jr. Yeah.
They're giving you the AI files as well, right? So they're giving you the original raw AI files.
All these are vectors that you can use.
Yeah.
You are allowed to use these vectors in your shirt.
Even Mountain Dew is on there because Mountain Dew sponsors a NASCAR.
Exactly.
So you can use Mountain Dew in your Fanprint design. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, as long as you see here.
Yeah.
In the 26, it has a signature.
Yes.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Yeah. So that is actually, you can use that in a shirt. The signatures here.
Yeah.
A lot of people love to make to make them look like their autograph.
Yeah.
You can use attaching to the shirt, and you can make it look official.
And this is an Adobe Illustrator file, so you can take out components of these and submit a design for this 2-tier approval. Correct?
Correct.
This is unbelievable, guys. What other platform gives you this level of access with AI files to use nationally branded, like Mountain Dew? Do you know how much money they spend on marketing Mountain Dew? Do you know how much money Dale Earnhardt Jr. spends on marketing? This is NASCAR, guys. This is huge.
But
let's do another one. Let's see.
But you see, it tells you exactly what to expect. Look, the 88 cannot be used alone. It must have a racing element between 5 inches, whether it's a signature sponsor or a team mark.
Yeah.
It tells you exactly what they expect on every single one of them.
There you go.
So it makes it easy for you to be in compliance.
That's okay.
Yeah. But can we do the America's Navy? We're talking like armed forces here, right? Navy at the bottom, the second one in from the left, right? Sorry, you can't see where I'm pointing, but at the very bottom, you've got NCAA, right? You got Navy, NASCAR, right next to NASCAR to the right.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is the football one.
This is like the Armed Forces Navy, right? This isn't like Old Navy or something, right?
No. This is the yeah.
These are the guys on boats with jets and stuff that can like blow people up.
Yeah.
We've got ability to use prime trademarks for America's Navy.
Wow.
The seal. You want to put United States Navy with the crest and logo and the anchor and the bird, everybody. Like,
that's awesome.
This is unbelievable. You know, but believe it, Fernando is telling us it's available.
You see, you must use approved Pantone color listed on this page. It has to be with these colors.
Yes.
It tells you everything you have to do, so you don't waste your time designing. I mean, they tell you exactly what color that needs to be done. It tells you everything, you know. I mean, that's why they cost $29 for a shirt, right? I mean, they're gonna be. I mean, Star Wars is a huge thing there, you know. MLS is Major League Soccer. They have in MLS you have soccer players and you have teams. Every team is here.
There you go.
You know,
The Los Angeles Galaxy team. That's a huge team. Let's click on that one. If there's any Major League Soccer players, they probably have heard of the Los Angeles Galaxy. I'm in a different country and I've heard of the Los Angeles Galaxy, guys. These are major brands. Look at that.
The logo with the trademark. That's how they want you to use it.
That's amazing.
So everything there, I mean, all these tools are available for your use, right? And
I noticed that was in EPS as well, right? So some of them give you .ai, some of them give you EPS. There's different file formats.
Yeah, different.
There's a Photoshop there with female model.
Yeah, that is for your promotions.
Yeah.
You see, with Sony, Family Guy, Fight Club are here already.
Yeah.
They have more licenses that they don't even list it here. I mean, I know that American Dad is available. I know that Family Guy, American Dad. I have the whole list. Like I don't, in top of my head, I don't remember it.
Yeah, that's no problem. So these are the stuff. So that was to answer your question. So Kathleen Kane, yes, they do have guidelines. Yes, they have multiple file formats. Yes, they have templates, right? They even give you access to the base files that make these things. So if you guys have any other questions, we can answer them on the fly. That's why it's a live webinar. There's 15 participants right now. You're like 15 people on the planet that get access to Fernando directly through this webinar. If you're watching the replay, it's great information, but you can't ask questions on the replay because it's already happened, unless you have a time machine. If you have a time machine, like Tara and I, we have a time machine. I know it's public knowledge. I talk about it quite a bit. You can use your time machine and go back in time and then ask a question. It's no problem. But if you don't have a time machine, you're going to have to watch the replay. I mean, join in live, guys. It's every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 Central, 5 Pacific, 6 Mountain Standard Time. You know, there's all these time zones.
This is the shirt that I've been promoting lately.
Yeah.
You see, it's all feminine. I mean,
yeah.
And what I was saying, you know, like shirts that have player names, most likely it's going to be a female that is going to be buying it.
Yeah.
You know? So you want to make a target towards them.
That's a funny shirt. On a scale of 1 to 10, my obsession with Roman Josie is 59.
Oh, I love this. I have no idea who Roman Josie is. I have never even seen his picture, you know, but he makes me money and I like him already.
There you go. And it shows you the types of products it's available on as well. So when people are buying it, they can see what it is. Do you want to drop that down on available products? We've got Gildan's women t-shirt.
Yeah.
And there'll be more when you drop that down. So you've got the unisex, you've got the pullover hoodies, the premium racerbacks, right? These are a lot of the same shirts that are available for Redbubble and other platforms. Long sleeves, and it tells you the brand as well. So when I was at the Scan Power conference, they were talking about how nobody cares about the brand and nobody cares about chemicals and different specifications. But I think that there are certain people that care about it and some people that really don't care about it. They don't mention things that people don't care about at all because they know this is generating sales. If it doesn't generate sales, they tweak it, make it better. So you've got the next level brand and you've got Gildan, and it shows you the different types. And when you go to different products, you'll have a drop down and it'll show you those brands available as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, something they do is that every campaign they make it look like it's 24 hours. Every day refreshes. I mean, some people like it, some people don't. I don't care.
Yep. And now, can you adjust that? Like I know in Teespring you can do a 3-day, 5-day, 7-day, 9-day.
No.
So it's always 24-hour countdown.
Now here's copy tracking link. You click on it, and when you copy it, now you have your link with your with your refer number. Or you can send it to a storefront, and you can tell that I want this shirt on my NHL player page, and I just send it, right?
Yeah.
Now,
so we didn't mention that before. You can have custom storefronts, and each storefront can have different designs in it. He's just showing us there where if you see a design you want to add it to your storefront, it's that easy.
Let me tell you something on why these stores are amazing, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now, here's your page, right? Your Facebook page, right? This is crappy. I just built it about a week ago.
Okay.
So, but now you click on Shop Now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I go here, and I create my storefronts, and it's this one, right?
Yes.
Okay. This storefront belongs to me. Every single shirt here is not mine.
This is a storefront here.
Okay. But these shirts were designed by somebody else, right?
Yes.
This link, I put it on my Shop Now.
Okay, so you can integrate your Facebook shopping store with your custom store on Fanprint.
When somebody goes to my storefront, they cannot access Fanprint. They can only access my storefront. So whatever they buy, it's mine. It's my commission as marketer.
Right.
So if I have 100 shirts on my storefront, that is all the product these people will see.
Okay.
If they click on, like here in Fanprint,
yeah,
it sends it back to my store.
So they're integrated. That's what we were talking about earlier with the integrated Facebook ads, right?
No, that's the saying that like when you're driving traffic to your Facebook page. Yeah. You're also keeping your audience captive on Fanprint as well.
Yes.
But you see, every other platform has, the storefronts, right?
Yeah.
People go click on your storefront, but if they click on the Redbubble, logo, it sends them to Redbubble, and they get lost in the market in Redbubble.
Okay.
This one, if they come to your storefront, they can only be on your storefront. You see, everywhere I click, it gets them back to my storefront.
Yes. I understand. So with other platforms, you'll send it to a design. If they start clicking around, they might go into somebody else's design, and you've kind of lost them, right? Yeah. What he's saying here is once you get into your storefront, no matter where you click, you remain within that storefront. And so Fernando's going to capture all of those buyers, right?
Exactly.
You sort of have a way to control, like, what's it called? Sandbox your buyers. Now, we have a question that came in from Holly while we were going through the storefronts. Holly asks, can you create a simple design to show us?
I don't have my, this is not my designer computer. I don't have
okay. So, but maybe this would answer your question. So Holly, we've been talking a lot about the branded trademark designs, and we touched on this earlier in the call. Fernando mentioned you are able to make your own designs and upload your own shirts. And what will happen is Fanprint tends to showcase the ones that are either selling the best or that have recognized trademarkable brands. One of the superpowers that you call it, or that I like to call for the different pods, the superpower of Fanprint, is you can take licensed design elements and you can actually go and create your own. So they have a built-in design phase here. Fernando's going to pick something. So let's go with Futurama.
You see, is what it is here. It's Futurama.
Yeah.
How I Met Your Mother, Modern Family, and Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy is huge.
Let's do a Sons of Anarchy shirt. So he's going to click Sons of Anarchy.
You don't have here how to create it. Like in other platforms that you can make text.
Yes.
No, you have to upload a PNG.
Oh, okay, but you can grab them from that other area where we saw the guidelines, right?
No, all those guidelines are PNGs, in vectors that you gotta apply to your to your design. Like for example, let me just create one.
Sure.
Pickle. Where is this? Okay, let's do one Fight Club.
Okay.
PNG. I actually firefight design Pickle.
Oh, okay.
Actually fired them today. Okay,
Today?
No, last week.
Okay, you and I should talk about that afterwards because I used to buy Pickle a lot and I really enjoy them quite a bit. So I'd love to talk with you about that afterwards. Again, while he's doing this, guys, if you have other questions, you don't wait. Like, you ask the question and we will answer it live on the show, both either in the chat or in the Q&A. The Q&A, we can mark it as answered so that we can let you know.
You see, like, you just create that and click next.
Apply it to the products.
And here, you just this is like Teespring. This is probably the worst part of this one, right? You gotta add one by one.
Yeah.
But they have, where's that button?
Are they partnered with another backend for this? Because this looks not just similar. This is like exactly like some other pods.
Yeah, this is like exactly like Teespring. I mean, they probably are, right? But like you just click next, and
yeah, you probably have to add the colors too, right?
Yeah, then you add the stickers.
Yeah.
$10 for 4 stickers, and you just go next. You enter the campaign title, the description, custom URL, categories, stores. You make it public, or you can make it public, or you can make it secret, and then you submit for approval.
Here's a question that's come up in previous calls. With the tags for Fanprint, do you know if there's a limit to the number of tags? Because some of them limited to 10, some of them are 3, some of them are 30. Are you aware of a limit on the tags?
I never do more than 10 tags, and I have never had a problem, so I wouldn't know if there's a limit. It doesn't say there is.
Okay, and I noticed you had an auto-suggest. So I know that TeePublic has auto-suggest. It's really powerful. You start typing in a tag, it'll start suggesting things.
Yeah, it does suggest things.
Those are those things that you've typed in the past and it's auto-suggesting from your computer, or is those things that it's auto-suggesting based on the design?
Those are part of my tags and other shirts already.
Okay. So if you type in a tag, will it auto-suggest, or it's just auto-filling based on your other designs?
It's auto-fill. It's auto-fill based on my previous experience. Now, it is not like AMS, when you run and they give you like all these beautiful keywords that taste like gold. No,
okay.
It's not that advanced yet.
So it's not auto-suggest, it's auto-fill. So just a correction, I thought that was auto-suggest, it's not. But TeePublic has auto-suggest. It's pretty cool. You type in a word and it suggests similar words. It's a neat feature.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah. Now I noticed markdown reference, right? So can you add HTML code and like really custom code your pages?
No, the storefront is very basic, honestly. Look.
But it says markdown reference. HTML is okay. Can you?
Oh, here, yes. Yeah, here you can make. I mean, yeah, you can make a. You're talking about the background and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I'm a developer, right? I'm into this stuff. Yeah. I know the H1234.
Yeah. I didn't understand what you meant at the beginning.
Okay.
You can do all that. I mean, you can make your store look pretty. Honestly, I haven't really invested time yet because I don't have the audience of that size yet for me to invest time on investing on that.
Okay.
Once you start, it's definitely once you start getting traffic to your store, because my Facebook, I used to start doing NHL like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I had never done NHL, and it was suggested actually by Fanprint. They told me they were making very serious money right now in the finals.
And so if you ask them, you'll say, "Hey, what's kind of hot right now?" Well, sometimes your account manager will make suggestions for you.
Mine tells me. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody will get the same answers.
Yeah. We'll call your guy just hypothetically. Let's call him Mike.
Yeah.
So you talk to Mike, and Mike tells you some things that you wouldn't know unless you ask. So I guess the lesson there is, if you've got a question for your account manager, it's better to ask than to wonder. Is that fair?
So far, they haven't told me in no question I have asked that this is private information. Like if like for example, they tell me that when you target a team, it could be both sexes, right? But when you target a player, it's gonna be young females. Usually young females, and the more attractive the player is, the more he will be interested in buying that one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, males are very interested in the best player, but they're not gonna wear a shirt, that has the name, right? But females are looking at the one they wish they were married. So they're like, the hottie of the team, it's the one that that they will buy. And so it's things like that they tell you. You ask. I mean, like I didn't even know that Facebook actually tracks what brand of mobile people are buying from, and they do. And when and when they told me, just make sure that your ad looks good on a on a on an iPhone or on the Android, is when I'm like, oh, I have never thought about that.
Yeah.
So I actually had to go and check on my iPhone. I don't have an Android, and see if my ad look. And I tweaked it a couple of times because you couldn't read it; it was too small. So they even tell you, what size you should create your ad, and I mean they give you a bunch of information. I mean, they are so involved in these, that they even have Google Analytics attached to it.
Yeah.
So you can run your Google Analytics.
And I believe you can do the pixel based on a design, or you can do a separate pixel for the whole store. That's another unique feature of Fanprint that I haven't seen on other platforms.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you create your pixels on your Facebook ad. I mean,
now you say you've got teams here, so if you had team members like virtual assistants, you can plug them in as well.
Yes, Fanprint wasn't created thinking on small sellers. It was thought of on people that were interested in making money.
Yeah.
So they even created a whole process. Look at all these titles that they name here. I mean, they're expecting people to go and spend serious money on advertisement and serious money on stuff, serious money makers, and you can give them a special access to special people. I mean, you can
control what they have access to and what they don't. So it could be either checked or unchecked, depending on who it is and what you want them to do, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, you have a VA and you only want the VA to upload and have absolutely no access to all the information. You can just say, okay, you can just be a designer and that will be it.
Yeah, I was talking with some people at the Scan Power conference, and one of their concerns was they didn't want to pay virtual assistants to do their uploading for them because they didn't want to give them access to, let's say, their financial data or their settings. They could have an account takeover. Here with Fanprint, guys, you have the ability to select or deselect those things. I'm just looking through the list here. So, ownership, financial data, the referrals, payments, settings, teams. If you wanted to have a VA that had up a team of three other VAs, you got 4 people looking at your account, maybe one of them you might want to give access to your financial data, and maybe the rest you want to hide that, right? That gives you the confidence to allow other people on your team to manage your account, and that allows you to go quite big. So you can have a large corporation, right? Like if you're a huge mega brand and you wanted to get into Fanprint, you can certainly do that, right?
Correct. I don't have a team, but I hope one day you use it, right?
Yeah. Now, there's 15 viewers. Guys, if you have any questions, I know we've said this a few times, but you can go in the Q&A and you can ask the question there. You can also go to the chat. You have 2 options, just the panelists, so only Fernando and I can see it. Or you can choose everyone if you want people to see the question as well. And this is a live webinar, so interact a little bit. There's 15 people here. We'd love to answer your questions live if you have any specific questions. So that's always open, guys. Just keep it in mind. So go ahead, Fernando. Is there a specific section of Fanprint that you think really stands out that you would want to show people?
You will. This one here and Facebook ad account, you will be able to see your Facebook ad account here.
Okay.
It will be great for monitoring, right? And the pixel and the product feed. Now, payments. What I like about this company is that you get payments whenever you reach $100 in payout. You can ask for a payment through PayPal.
And that's so if you have over $100 balance, you can request a daily payout.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Like right now, my payout right now here I have 88.61.
Yeah.
In the next couple hours, I will hit 100. I will just record a payment, right?
And how long does that payment take to issue once you've requested the payment, generally?
Yes. Probably next business day. It's PayPal.
Okay.
So and they have a policy that once you order a shirt and it's shipped, that's it. You don't get your money. They don't get the money back.
Okay.
Now this is what I like. In mailings. Here in mailings you can create actually an email to your people.
Okay. So you can email out your existing clients using Fanprint's platform. You don't have to link it into another platform?
I have all the emails right now. As I said, this is my tester account.
Yeah.
I'm testing NHL, and everybody who has order, I have their emails already.
Okay.
And these were cross sales. I have the promotions running.
Are these hypothetical, like pretend people, or are those real people using your test account?
No, these are actually buyers. I'm testing NHL. I didn't want to do much NHL because it's pretty much over.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, it's in the playoffs right now, so
yeah. So
this is the busy time for NHL. For the playoffs, that's when people go crazy.
Yeah,
I know the teams in the playoffs.
On my main, I'm focusing right now on Major League Soccer. I'm doing Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And I'm doing some Star Wars, which right now in my real account.
Now, just a quick question: is there any limit to the number of different brands you can do, or like theoretically you could do all of them, right?
Like you can do. I mean, no. Here's no limit.
And is there a limit to the number of designs you're allowed to post on Fanprint? Like I know with Amazon, you're limited to like 10 when you sign up, and then 25 the tiers that way.
No, that's only Amazon. I mean, I don't know any other platform that does that stuff. I mean, that's
okay. So if you have 10,000 designs that you've been sitting on since the 1970s, you could upload them into Fanprint, right?
Yeah, it will be a complete waste of time, but yes.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Maybe not, right?
Because
so, how often do you see new brands coming into Fanprint? Like, could you envision in the future maybe they do a deal with Coca-Cola or Pepsi or somebody? Like, have you seen new brands coming on since you joined back in last year?
Yes, Dallas Cowboys was just added a month ago.
Okay. And that's straight up NFL team, right?
Yes, and they're adding. The guy told me that they're about to add a couple more brands. I mean, no, they're negotiating. Every day apparently.
Yeah, and the bigger they get, the more they can negotiate, right?
Yes. You see the Dallas Cowboys here. They actually made it like a big symbol. I mean, big tab, because it's a big deal. These guys are in Dallas. They're local in Dallas, so for them getting the Dallas Cowboys, it was huge. Now they got him at the end of the season, but they got him right. So right now you go to the Dallas Cowboys. They don't have a lot of products. I mean, everything is pretty repetitive.
Well, here's something I want people that are watching to understand. You don't have to have a lot of products to make a lot of money. You only have to have one or two that sell really well, right? Like this one says, I married into this star Cowboys, right? That shirt potentially could generate enough sales to become a full-time income for you. You never know which shirt is going to really take it to the next level. It's funny, there's next level is the brand available there. But you never know which design is going to really take off for you. And the difference between making your own and kind of guessing and following niches and trying, as a designer or as a seller to try and get stuff, the difference between doing that and doing that with a huge mega brand that's known all over the planet, that has millions of dollars of marketing behind it and hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands or possibly millions of fans, is a big, big difference. Right? If you go and you do a Facebook page and you say, hey, come and check out my Snakes and Ladders Facebook page, it's great. That's a little bit different than saying, I love the Dallas Cowboys and I spend like $15,000 a year outfitting my truck with Dallas Cowboys stuff because I'm a football fan. It's a very different audience, right? I got Tara to look up who's in the playoffs right now. So we've got Ottawa Senators, of course, some near Ottawa. Ottawa Senators in their playoffs still. New York Rangers, the Capitals, the Penguins, Blues, Predators, Ducks, and Oilers. So the closer they get to the Stanley Cup, some of those are going to be out and some will remain, but there can only be one winner every year, NHL guys. So this is like playoff season. You may want to focus on that, or maybe not. Check with an account manager and they'll let you know what you can focus on, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting. I bet on the Nashville Predators.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, right now they're going to be in the finals, right?
Right.
They won their bracket, so I'm gonna keep on dumping money on that campaign. And what I love about this is like you click here and you can see that somebody is promoting this shirt. It has a pixel firing on this shirt.
Can you show again where you click to see that?
Oh, it's a Chrome app that is called Facebook Pixel Helper.
Okay.
And you can click on it and it will tell you if a shirt has a pixel running.
Okay.
So it means that this shirt has had pixel fires in the recently.
And is that a Chrome extension?
Yeah, it is a Chrome extension.
So that's not necessarily part of Fanprint. That's a separate Chrome extension, right?
That's a Chrome extension. So I can tell, if this shirt is being promoted or not. and now I know that somebody's investing on T-shirts, and I'm pretty sure they're probably promoting them for Mother's Day.
Right.
I mean, it's probably, wifey, Mother's Day makes sense. It's probably running for that.
Yeah. Now, another thing that's interesting is a lot of these professional sports leagues, they have set timelines, guys. You know when the season's going to start. They don't play baseball in December, right? They play it in the summertime. They don't play football in the early spring, right? They play it in the fall. So you know when the leagues are really getting a lot of their viewers, when they're promoting the upcoming season, right? When they get into the finals, whether it's like the Stanley Cup finals or the Super Bowl or whatever the league has, they're going to have the special time when they're competing for that season. That's when you want to start promoting your designs, probably, I'm guessing, right, Fernando? Like, you can know when to promote them, right?
Yeah, right now, Major League Baseball is starting, and it's getting same for, you see, in Major League Baseball they don't have the teams.
Right.
The Major League Baseball Player Association, and they have the Major League Baseball Players Alumni.
There you go.
It's the retired players.
Yeah.
And some people like these ones. Some people like the other one. But like right now, these are the ones that are selling, right?
Okay.
So, it's the season. I mean, NASCAR, I think it's over right now.
Yeah.
So it's probably not a good deal. And then Junior announced his retirement. So who knows what's going to be next year? And then, but NCAA, they told me that this one, especially when it was the the March Madness deal,
the finals,
this deal they were making millions of dollars a day on this brand.
Millions of dollars a day.
This is the number one seller in Fanprint, the NCAA.
Yeah.
I mean, NFL, MLS, MLS is like probably the worst. NASCAR is like the second, but NCAA is.
It's huge because you have colleges, right? You've got all the different schools competing against each other. Plus, they have their families and their friends. It's a huge thing, and you can tell by the stadium sizes, right? When you see an NCAA stadium, it's full of fans. There's lots of fans. And lots of brand loyalty. So you've got access to these logos. That's fantastic, right? Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of money in this one. I mean, sadly, they allow everybody to in when it was over. But, next year, you should be ready. And they tell you, I mean, all these have limitations. Like you notice everything is red. It's because this state, this school, says that every single shirt has to be red.
Yeah.
There is no other option. You got to do it in red.
And that's fine because maybe they want to have a stadium of red, right? I know when we were in Calgary, we went to the Calgary Flames Stadium. They called it the Sea of Red. All the fans were wearing the same color, not just red, general. It was like the same red. So it stands out. You can like paint your stadium with fans.
It feels the support because everybody's wearing the same color, right?
That's right.
And it also helps you in your marketing. One of the things I don't like about merch is that you never know first what shirt is going to be promoted.
Yeah.
By them.
Or suppressed. Because they suppress designs.
Or what size?
Yeah.
And then it's a hit or miss of like, should I put this in black or red or green or pink?
Yeah. It's new colors.
He'll tell you everybody who's gonna buy this brand. I mean, this license is gonna buy it on red.
Right.
So now you design for red and you're done. I mean, it makes it a lot easier. I mean,
you can send that Pantone color to your designer and say, look, this is the color it's going to be on, designed for this color.
Exactly.
Not only that, it looks like red, white, yellow. I don't see any other colors there. I don't see any blues or anything else, right? So maybe the guidelines say you have to use these three colors. It's got to be a red base, and then you go.
They allow you to use a shirt only black, dark gray, and gray.
There you go. And so we do have a live question that came in. So Julia Winka asks, have you gotten any designs rejected? And what was the basic reason?
I did.
How does that work?
Actually, this design was actually approved. I had, watch out, Barbie, there's a new doll in town.
Uh-oh.
I had it approved. in the second tier approval,
yeah.
Mattel answered that this was wrong word verbiage. That it was
Yeah, because they don't want to promote other dolls, right? Like
no,
you don't
no.
want Frozen in
That
it.
it was, watch out, Barbie. There's a new doll in town. I mean,
Yeah.
they considered it aggressive for
Yeah.
the brand, and they told me no, that's too aggressive. And I'm
Right.
like, I was like, okay. So, I mean, I don't care because the design was ugly. So it was one of the design Pickles gave me. I was like,
And
whatever.
is it a general, like, what was, do they tell you specific why it was rejected? Or is it kind of like, hey, we rejected it and you have to guess why? Like, Merch by Amazon's.
It was literally, because of the beverage. Let me read it to
So
you.
they tell you very specifically why it was rejected. So you can correct and resubmit it, right?
Well, in this case, he will kill the whole purpose of the shirt, right?
Okay.
You see, but it says, your campaign 2842, there is a new doll in town, Barbie Watch Out, which is that one.
Yeah.
For the account, Beat the Business has been rejected. Reason for rejection, did not pass secondary approval. Verbiage is not approved. Please revisit. And they put in, apparently I used, what the hell? Apparently used a bad word somewhere. You see, here it is. Did not pass, revisit it. Then they put up,
Yeah.
if you have questions regarding the design, please send email to design,
So they're very interactive. I mean, that's a very clear, this is why it was rejected, right? If you want to talk about it more, here's the email address. Like, that's amazing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wish I would get that in any other platform. I mean,
Not just Merch by Amazon, but even like if you get like a Teespring rejection, a Redbubble takedown or something, it'd be nice if they had a nice, clear, specific thing, and it's tagged to your design, so it's not ambiguous. It's not like, hey, you made some shirt, take it down. It's this is the shirt, this is why it was rejected. Here's the email for more information. Like, they're very interactive here, right?
yeah, and they are not. I mean, the other day, like, let me show you something. They have a huge team of attorneys there as well. Okay.
Okay.
You see this one?
Yes.
In merch, this one will be down, right?
Honky Bird.
No, the Patronus.
Oh yeah, Patronus would be trademarked, so you couldn't use it in Merch by Amazon, but you could use it in Fanprint.
In Fanprint, I actually spoke with them, and they said, "Hey, I said you are in trademark, breach because of the font, which is Harry Potter's font,
right?
Patronus, which is the most famous spell in Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, the Patronus spell.
And they said, well, no, actually they said they actually spent a lot of money on attorneys reviewing this shirt. They said, because this Patronus shirt is actually a big seller.
Yeah.
Because it's a Patronus, a hockey bird. Yeah, it's nice. So they say, no, actually these, falls under, I forgot that word when you do charades.
Available?
No, well, if they're not referring to Harry Potter at all.
Oh, yeah. It's like a general. It's like public domain.
It's public domain.
Okay.
And and everybody can say, yeah, it's my Patronus, So they actually allow this shirt, but it was a word that I was thinking. I cannot remember the word right now. And
there's certain words that are associated with the brand, but maybe aren't protected by the brand. And you could use those, like you're saying, right?
Well, no, because this shirt is protected by the brand. I mean, Patronus is in the movie, so automatically it's copyrighted, right? But because
so this is like this from a trademark standpoint. If you have something that's rejected based on trademark for Merch by Amazon, you could check and see if it's available on Fanprint, and then go with it and go and have the full support of the platform, right?
Yes, I mean they will review. I mean they are here to make money. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're knocking. Yeah, bye.
So, Fernando, we're going to start to wrap it up here. I'm going to put out a final request for Q&A, guys. We've had a couple questions come in. We've answered those live. I see we still have about 13 viewers. So, guys, is there any specific questions that you've come up with, or things that you want to know about the platform or the process, or anything about Fernando or myself, or any kind of questions that you guys have?
Yeah, fair use. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, it's fair use. That's the word I was looking for.
Fair use. There you go.
Because they are not trying to steal from Harry Potter. they're trying to, they are not omitting Harry Potter from here. They're actually adding it to it.
Yeah.
For use.
And here's an interesting thing about pods. Not every pod has all the rights to all the trademarks, but if you're using multiple pods, you can. I saw Harry Trademark was available as one of the brands on another pod. So, you might use the Patronus here because it's fair use, but on another platform, they might actually have the rights to the trademark for Harry Potter, and then you can use them there. And so by having multiple pods, multiple print-on-demand sites, you have this ability to have amazing access to trademarked, non-trademarked, licensed, non-licensed, right? You've got this broad access across the world of print-on-demand. There's this book out. It's called Merch in the World of Print-on-Demand. I know there's usually a link in here because Shawn Mayo usually puts it in. But you should check it out. It shows you multiple platforms that you can go on and you can use to your advantage to make more sales, right? Lisa Barber has a question. She says she's new to Pod and she wished she had more information to ask a different question. Paraphrasing. So Lisa, you know what? The beautiful thing is everybody that starts it on print on demand starts at the same place. Nobody knows about it until they get started, right? And Merch by Amazon, when you see people writing books about it and experts and like Chris Green and like people that are huge mega stars in that area, right? They all started at the same place. The whole platform's less than 2 years. So 2 years ago, nobody knew anything about it because it didn't exist, right? To never be afraid to ask questions. There's no dumb questions. I mean, there's some repetitive questions that people ask a lot of. Like people always want to know, how long does it take to get tiered up? How long does it take to get my account approved? What's the limit? What are the tiers, right? But feel free to ask questions, guys. We're an open book. Fernando's here. He's committed some time to help us out here, specifically with Fanprint, and he's an expert at it, right? I've written a book about print on demand, and I spend my days looking through these sites and trying to get additional information that's really helpful for you guys. And I know, Fernando, you do the same thing on multiple platforms, right?
Yeah, I do. So,
guys, we're going to have to wrap it up here. It's 9:30. We're an hour and a half into the recorded session here. Time flies.
That dog behind you is hilarious. You look like you're waving your tail so bad.
Oh, yeah. It's our... This is our dog, Tessa. She is super happy.
Don't just wave the tail.
Oh, yeah. She loves the weekly webinars. Okay? She likes to give kisses on the face. Sometimes she'll be like, listen, you're stinky, you gotta clean you up, right? And I know it's time for a shower. If I get too much dog licking, I know it's time for me to take a shower like immediately, right? It's the sign. So this is Tessa. She's our puppy. She's 2 years old here. She helps me with niche designs for pet owners. And we have a cat as well. Our cat likes to attack our feet sometimes.
And the dog?
Yeah. Tessa's really showing her love for my knee right now. So we're gonna, okay, now. You go down. Okay. So sorry about the wagging the tail in the background. She's very happy. So any other questions that came in here? There's the group chat. I'm just going to take a quick. Catherine Kane says fair use. Gail Sweeney, fair use. Okay. Lisa Barber says thanks. I'll have to rewatch a few times. Yeah. So if you registered for this webinar, it'll be available for replay. And if you register for the other webinars, even if you can't make the live show, you can always watch the replay afterwards. But you can't watch the replay unless you've registered for webinars. So they're every Wednesday. They happen at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 7 p.m. Central, 5 Pacific, 6 Mountain Standard Time on Wednesdays. Fernando, any special words of advice before we wrap it up here with the recording? Any comments about the show or any... You've seen a couple of shows, right?
I mean, if you really want to do something, you're an expert in any sport, and you want to start designing something that is more in connection with you. Like for example, when I started on Merch, I come from the oil and gas industry, guys. I'm in contracts, right? I wasn't into anything artistic. And my first designs on Merch, if I was to show them to you, you would laugh. They were horrible. And because I don't even wear T-shirts. I mean, you will never see me wearing a t-shirt unless it's a Sunday and I'm lazy. I wear polos. So for me to get into that industry was like getting into something I didn't know. Now, when I saw Fanprint Star Wars, I mean, I'm a Star Wars geek, right? I literally have about $20,000 on the Star Wars toys in boxes here. I'm just obsessed. So I felt I could do something with a brand I actually like. You know, same for soccer. I mean, I developed stuff for, you know, Manchester United and stuff like that. You know, British soccer. You know your sports. This is a good way for you to actually start doing something. Now, the sports are far more profitable than doing all these. You know, my mom is an engineer. Shirts.
Yeah.
You sell 10 shirts there. I mean, there are a bunch of, you know, trainings on how to run ads. I mean, a lot of people are afraid of Facebook ads, but once you actually learn targeting, it's not that complicated.
Yeah. And you can leverage the power of these brands, right? Yeah. Like when you say Dallas Cowboys, you're thinking football team, right? You're not talking about people riding around on horses being cowboys. You're thinking football, right? The reason is these brands have put in effort, they've put in time, they've done marketing across many years. It's multi-year marketing, right? They've spent millions and millions of dollars to market these brands. And then through a platform such as Fanprint, you get access to these brands. It's unbelievable, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you should really take advantage of it. And I think what you're saying is don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to try new things. Go ahead and try new things, right? You're going to fail along the way. Everybody fails when they try new things at some point. But I would rather try 10 things and fail at 8 of them and have 2 successes than try at nothing and have no successes, right? You get 2 versus 0, right?
Yeah, I mean, to do Fanprint, right now is a good opportunity. You should direct them to, you know, to Rachel Miller's group.
Go to Rachel Miller's group.
You will learn a lot of Facebook ad, a lot of page.
There's a link to Rachel Miller's Mula group in the book Merch in the World of Print on Demand. She was one of the speakers at the Scan Power conference, guys. She's also in Texas as well, just like Fernando. Do you guys get together? You're fairly close by geographically, right?
Yes, we haven't met.
2 hours.
We can never meet the schedule.
Yeah, so I met with Rachel Miller yesterday. We drove her to the airport. She was also a speaker at Scan Power, and we talked over lunch and dinner on multiple days. Rachel Miller is an expert, and we say expert, I mean she is an expert in Facebook marketing, how to make things go viral marketing on Facebook. She has a course, it's the Moolah course. If you go in and type in the word Moolah, M-O-O-L-A-H, into Facebook, you'll see her group. Okay, she's got a closed group. You can apply for it. If she lets you in, then you're a lucky person. And she lets a lot of people in, so it's good. It's almost 10,000 people in the group. They should definitely check out Rachel Miller. If you want to get connected to Rachel or any of the people at Scan Power or any of the people that Fernando knows, you can reach out to either Fernando or myself or Shawn Mayo, right? This is on Mastering the Pod with Shawn Mayo. This is his channel, guys. He's given us access to teach you guys about the pods because he wants you to learn about how to use the pods, right? Now, Lisa has a question. It's not specific to Fanprint, but we'll have an interesting answer here. Lisa Barber asks, is Design Pickle a viable designer option? I'll give you an answer, and Fernando will give you an answer, and they may be different answers. So for me, I've been using Design Pickle for almost 3 months now. I submit designs to them throughout the week. I usually do it in batches, and currently my designer is giving me, I'm just going to count the last one here. So on May 3rd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? On May 3rd, I got 42 designs from my Design Pickle designer. This is not typical, but that's the actual number of designs I got from one single designer on Design Pickle. There are ways to leverage Design Pickle to get incredible value out of it, and there's also ways to lose money on it because how you're requesting it, who your designer is, whether they're working for you or not. You have the ability to swap out designers. So if you're working with a designer, you don't like them, you can ask them to leave. They'll give you a new designer, so you can do that. So in some cases, it can be a viable design option. And in other cases, it doesn't always work out. So you have the ability to cancel, right? You can stop using Design Pickle, or you can swap out a designer, or you can get multiple designers. So that's my answer. I think Design Pickle is a viable option for some people. It's not for everybody, but it certainly works well for me. I love them. Fernando, what do you think? Design Pickle, viable designer option?
I think it's a hit and miss. You know, I mean, I had my first designer, and he was very generic. You know, but it was okay. But I fired him because I just was not getting what I wanted.
So it was a style issue?
Eh?
Was it a style issue, or was it consistency? What was the issue?
It was consistency, style, and you know, and at the same time, like I will tell him, I want you to design me this design for a black shirt, and he will give me the mock-up in grayish dark.
Yeah.
And you could barely see it, and I will tell him, can you? And I will send him back a picture. Say, look how it looks in black. You could.
Right. Yeah.
And so he even tried to fool me on that, and so I started getting upset with him about. He started doing things like that. Or I will tell them, you know, I don't
put up with any of that with my designer. If they give me something that doesn't look on that design, I let them know like right away. I'd be like, look, this is a design. I do request one for light colored shirts, one for dark colored shirts, and one in black and white.
Yeah.
I also request variation on every request that I do. So I'm getting 4 shirts for every design, plus I'm getting 2 versions of every one. So I'm getting at least, I think the minimum I ever get is something like around 10 per request. So I'm doing 2 requests a day. So I'm getting a minimum of 20 designs a day. And then on the upside, depending on how many variations they do, I've seen up to 24 designs. I just checked that the reason why I had so many, I had like 42 designs there in one day, is because some of them were just after midnight and the other ones are like 10 p.m. So it's really 2 days worth of designs there. So it really does depend. And you do have the option to swap out a designer.
Yes, I got a second one.
Yep.
He had very good design idea. You know, his spacing and everything, but his color and font options were just horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he will give me like your shirt green for a mother, you know, for a hockey player, you know. And
yeah. Bad color choices.
I mean, I was like, why do I want a hockey player in green, you know? And it was like, so I lasted like 2 weeks with him. After I started telling him, hey, it's not what I want. They give me another one, and that one was like entirely lazy. I mean, he will give me one day designs, and next day he will give me absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I'm done with Design Pickle. Now, one thing in Design Pickle is that when I spoke with Alex, you know, and I explained about Fanprint, and they say as long as you can show me, you know, a screenshot of your Fanprint, that you are a Fanprint, we will create all the licensed products for you.
Oh, there you go. That's new.
So they.
So you say that again. So if you have a Design Pickle account, and you can prove that you're a Fanprint marketer or seller, then they will make those licensed designs for you through Design Pickle. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
For anybody that doesn't know about Design Pickle, Alex is a person you can call and talk to. He's within Design Pickle, so you can schedule a call with him. I think when you open the account, you get an automatic one scheduled call, but you can schedule like half-hour calls to ask questions directly to them for their customer support.
Very, very accessible guy. I mean, I feel sorry when I actually, because the second month he actually gave it to me for free.
Okay.
You know, because I was about to quit it the first month. I said, no, give us another shot. And then I actually canceled it like in the day 20 on my second month, because I said, you know what? I don't want to keep taking the freebie, you know, just to take it. I'm done.
No, they want you to be happy, and you want to be happy with whoever you use. But do you use a different design service now? Like, I know there's Brandstrong as well. And somebody asking the questions, is Design Pickle covered in the book? Yes. I cover Design Pickle. I cover Brandstrong. I cover individual virtual assistants. I cover how to find them. There's a whole chapter, number 7, about outsourcing your business. And there's also chapter 3 about design, about how to get your own design or hire somebody out. The other question that came in is, do you send your designer a pencil sketch of what you want or something else? So Julia, who asked that, what I do is I send them a description. I say, this is the title or the verbiage if there's words on the shirt. And then I also say, this is the audience. So this is the intended group of people who this is for. And then I'll also say the size, right? So usually I get the Amazon or my Amazon size because they're really has to be exact. So it's 4,500 by 5,400. They also have a section for inspiration. So in the inspiration section, you can put a link to something if there's an example of something that you want them to be inspired by. They do custom design, so they're not going to copy what you sent them, but they'll give you inspiration, right? So you look at a picture of a tree and you can draw a tree, right? So if you want to do a pencil sketch of something and then submit it to your designer, they can look at that pencil sketch and either do something like that, or if you've done an original pencil sketch, they'll use it as an element if you'd like them to. You also have the ability to upload a file. So if there's a file you want them to reference, you can do that. In addition to what you want it to look like, you also have the option to say what you don't want it to look like, right? So sometimes I'll say, I'd like a design, it's got to be in this niche or whatever, and just like maybe you want a more masculine design or feminine design, you might also say, I do or don't want this type of design, right?
Yeah, I always ask for, your Photoshop file, your AI, which is the AI? Illustrator.
Adobe Illustrator, yeah.
I ask for the PNG. I ask for the mockups and JPJs, and I always ask them for the font. They always send me the fonts.
Oh, they sent you the fonts. Interesting. Did you now? You also have the ability, if you have fonts that you've purchased. This is something I found out recently. You can provide those fonts as long as you have access to do this. To your designer, they can use fonts that you've got commercial rights to use.
Yeah, they give you a Dropbox, so you can drop all your fonts you want to. But the thing is, what I notice is that when they send you the Photoshop, yeah, it's nice, but they don't. And the Pickle designers have these bad habits, I guess, that they rename the fonts.
Oh.
So when you open the file and you try to find the font they use, you just kind of find it because that name that they used is not the name of the font.
I think that's an individual designer thing.
It was so I started asking for the fonts, and they gave me all the fonts.
Right.
I got a bunch of fonts that I didn't have.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of stuff that you can ask them. But they don't do nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy. I mean, if you want to start looking for those, a design that would cost you $20 in the market, they won't do it.
Okay, so we've got the hot fire questions here. We're gonna fire these off. There's 2 more questions that are in the queue, and then we need to wrap it up because we're almost 2 hours into this live webinar, guys. And the replay viewers are gonna be like, man, what did they talk about for 2 hours? I started out, it was all Fanprint, and then I got into Design Pickle. Like, what's going on? So we're gonna answer these 2 questions for Lisa Barber, and then if you have any last questions while I'm answering these 2, you can submit them. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap it up after these. So Lisa asks, which brings in the most sales, design or marketing? I think marketing, because you can adjust how many sales you want, right? The more marketing, the more sales. You can really target it.
That is the easy answer. The easy answer is marketing. Yeah, always going to be marketing. I mean, it's 40%. And I'm against 2.5 now.
Yeah.
Are you a marketer? If you are a designer, then it's going to be a designer, right?
Yeah.
You don't know anything about marketing, but you're a good designer and you partner with a good marketer.
Yeah. Let's take both.
Yeah. I guess it depends on your strength.
Yeah.
But I mean, both of them have good potentials of making good money. Right now in my group, we have 3 people that are no designers, and all they do is just they're looking for designs to promote.
Same market. Yeah.
That's all they do. And the reason they're in the group is just they want to see what other people are promoting, and they're going to say, hey, can I promote this one?
Yeah.
I think you saw the other day, I asked one of the guys, can I promote this one? And it was a total failure.
Right.
I completely failed on promoting that shirt because he made it very masculine, and I just couldn't. It was just not appealing to the female market.
And that's the advantage of having those groups, guys. You can really learn from each other, and you can support each other. If you're not in a Facebook group, you should really consider being in one. If you're watching this, then you're probably already in one, right? So this is from Mastering the Pod with Shawn Mayo. So definitely interact inside those groups, ask questions. We do need to wrap this up. The last question has already been asked. Which is more important overall? So design or marketing? I'd say marketing. But I would say there's a certain limited number of elements that sells a shirt. There's the keywords that get you found, right? You have to be found in order to sell a shirt. Then there's the design. This is what people fall in love with, right? If they can't find it, they can't fall in love with it. But once they're found, you have to beat out everybody else that gets found at the same time. because you're not just in a vacuum. If they type in Star Wars, you're going to be a whole lot more than 10 shirts come up, right? So you have to have a good design. And then there's the price. Right, the price, I think for T-shirts is not as big of a factor as for like FB items. It's not a big factor, which is strange, but I believe that to be true. I know that there's an advantage of having very low pricing and then moving it up. Some people have very high pricing and they drop it down. In the book, I go through, I think, 7 different pricing strategies. I also go through 10 reasons why people buy things. So there's 10 different reasons. Things like price would be one of them. Availability would be another one. Exclusivity, right? Do they think they have it's going to run out or it's exclusive to a specific group? There's 10 different reasons. It's under the marketing section in the book. I think that's chapter 5. So there are different factors, but the 3 big things that you're going to find for merch, whether it's on Merch by Amazon or whether it's on Fanprint or anywhere, is one is the keywords. Again, trademark brands, they keyword really good. You type in Dallas Cowboys, you know, that's not even allowed on other platforms because it's trademarked. But then it comes up on Fanprint. So they're going to capture all that traffic and all that demand that other people cannot legally sell on other platforms. It's a big deal. The keywords are very important. The design, I mean, you type in Dallas Cowboys, you kind of expect there to be a star somewhere, right? If you type in Dallas Cowboys and there's no star or the word Cowboys isn't there, you're going to, you know, ask what's happening. And then the price. I mean, the price for Fanprint has a different pricing strategy than other pods, and it's obviously working. Before we wrap up, too, do you want to mention, so you said you've had good success, but you mentioned before we started recording, you've talked to or know of people on Fanprint that are making some decent income. Do you want to talk about that, right? Just sort of last final words?
Yeah, well, there's people on Fanprint that are selling $25,000 a day. I mean,
$25,000 a day. This is US dollars.
US dollars. Yeah.
So in 4 days, they'd make $100,000.
Yes, I mean, there's people making $6 million, you know, in Fanprint easily. I mean,
millions of dollars on this brand new pod that most people haven't heard of.
I mean, look at this, you know, right? The industry is huge, you know, and there is only one POD where you can create a design that is not being sold anywhere else, and you're marketing it as an official licensed product, and you write that in your Facebook ad, right? So automatically this product is not going to be cheap, right? And
there's value to being an officially licensed product.
You know, I mean, and people who are buying this product, they already know that they're not going to buy a cheap product, because people who is used to buying jerseys or official products, they know that they pay a prime, but they know they're also having a real thing, right? They're having quality and having everything.
Yeah.
So Fanprint actually allows you to market like that, you know. I mean, and they actually encourage you to actually put in your Facebook ads official licensed product. You know, I mean, you know, actually, let me show you something. You look, it's gonna be very quick.
Okay. And it's got to be quick because we've got another item in 6 minutes. I've got another item, so it'll be quick.
Yeah. Look at this is an ad that I'm running, right? This is that.
Okay.
You see?
Whoa. 10,500 people reached on a single post.
On a
Take
single
note of
post.
that, guys. That's 10,500 people reached on one post. Okay.
Yeah. 128 likes, 36 shares. This has only been live for 3 days, okay? And I have spent a total of $30.
$30 for 10,000 people.
Okay. This is very targeted. This is targeted in Nashville.
Yeah.
To people who follow the NHL.
Yeah, and they're in the playoffs, so that's good.
And females. My target is 36,000 people living in Nashville.
Yes.
That's it. So it's retargeting.
Yeah.
The ad, get your official license Nashville Predator shirt.
Yeah.
Link, and look. After promoting here, and they start talking, and they start asking me, "Do you have this player?" I'm like, "No, I don't have this player." You know. You
get requests, right? People want to know, who else do you have? What else do you do, right?
This shirt of Pekka, Ryan, I don't have it in my ad, right?
Yeah.
People started asking me, what about Pekka? Here it is. There is Pekka. I sold it. You know, again, here you go, Rachel. Here is Pekka, right?
Yeah.
They said, we also have this one on Josie, because somebody asked me somewhere here. Said, I already sold 2 of these ones.
Right.
But in the same ad, people are asking me, You know, what else?
That's real fan demand. You don't get that with like a Merch by Amazon shirt.
No,
you don't get that with the Redbubble shirt. You get that with licensed designs, right?
Charlene Watson asked me, what about Neil? I said, same answer as Christine. Charlene, we don't have a license agreement with him. You know,
at this point in time, they may come about though, right?
Yeah, you know, it was a shame that I couldn't sell that shirt,
Yeah.
but it also assures people that I'm real.
Yeah.
I'm official. I don't have a license with this guy.
Right.
It assures everybody that I am not faking a sale.
Right.
Because I'm telling them I don't have a license with this guy. I speak first person because I am the guy who is selling these shirts, right? So it has a lot of engagement. And right now, it kind of died down because there's no game.
Yeah.
Once the next game starts, that's what I'm keeping this alive, just creating engagement. Once the first game starts and it's a win, this one is going to take off again.
Yes.
So, but I mean, just know your audience. And you see, I didn't design these shirts. These are not mine. But I'm making 60% right now commission out of $30.
Yeah.
You know, and that person is making 2.5. I mean, I made him a couple of dollars, but hey, that's the name of the business in Fanprint. You have all these opportunities.
Yeah. Now, we've got to wrap it up there. Lisa asked a couple other questions, so I'm going to answer them real quick. So regular people, not graphic designers, marketing experts, people, can you make that much money? Yes. People who make this much money are starting out as regular people, and the better skills they get over time, they develop those skills and they get more. When I started out, when I first started, I knew very little about everything, like extremely low information about any of this stuff. I'm not an experienced marketer. My background is like software development and financial, right? So I do like financial plans and I can like code websites and apps and things, right? But over time, you start to pick up these skills. So I had to design a single design that was making $100 a day on Merch by Amazon. I thought that was amazing, right? Fernando's telling you people are making $25,000 a day. Those are real people. Yeah, like somebody's actually doing that, guys, right? Is there any marketing webinars coming up? So Lisa, there may be. It's a weekly show, so there's going to be multiple weeks. We usually cover one pod per week. Next week, I don't think we have the pod set yet, but we're going to set that real fast as soon as I can get in contact with Shawn. He's driving right now. And so with that, thank you for coming on the show as our special guest. Fernando, I really appreciate it.
I mean, if anybody's interested in Amazon Custom, I run a group with Chris Green. The other Fanprint group that I have it's kind of private. It's a you know, so I mean, you apply, let me know. I probably have a slots available.
And how can people reach out to you if they want to get in contact with you for more questions or anything?
Just Fernando Sustaira. Just have me on Facebook. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I think it's probably like 5 Fernando Sustairas in the world.
Can you spell it out? Because not everybody will watch the video.
It's in the podcast. You can see it.
Okay, perfect. So it's Fernando, guys. And any groups or anything that they can reach to you from or in?
I'm in the Amazon Custom group, the one with Chris Green. You know, I'm the admin there. We run it together.
You have that other business group too, right?
The business. It's also a group. It's a small group. It's more like where I just bend my business ideas. You know, it's still small, but like 20 people still, but it's
perfect.
In progress.
Okay, so with that, we're wrapping it up, guys. It's basically 10 o'clock p.m., so it was 2 hours, 2 full hours on Fanprint. And thank you so much for coming and joining us as a special guest. Usually it's Shawn Mayo and myself, and today I thought, you know, you're much more knowledgeable about Fanprint than I am, so let's bring in more of an expert, right?
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. It was fun.
Okay, perfect. Oh, so we'll see you guys, live viewers. Thank you for joining. Come back next week at 8 p.m. And we'll be going through a new platform, which hasn't been set yet, but we'll set it pretty soon. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.